What is going on, you savages? Welcome back to another WWE 2K18 countdown. This time we're going to be taking a look at the full roster of NXT and who could potentially be making it to the game. Now keep in mind that not everybody who is on NXT actually makes it to the WWE game, but these 20 superstars that I'm about to discuss has been with the WWE for at least 1 year already, and most importantly they have been a major part of WWE television and storylines for over the past couple of months. Some of these guys even debuted before last year's game but were not included in the game, so they will definitely be part of this year's game. But nonetheless, let's get right to it. Make sure that we drop those 100 likes. Let's start off with the dominating team of NXT, pretty much the powerhouse that is the Authors of Pain. They have been running the tag team division for over the last 3 takeovers, and they continue to be a huge part of NXT, giving us classic matches with tag teams such as DIY and The Revival. Up next we got another team but in the women's division, and that is Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, 2 female competitors who has been featured on NXT television significantly, and they have been part of major storylines such as with Asuka and Ember Moon. In regards to Billie Kay, I reported in one of my episodes for WWE 2K18 news that she was scanned by 2K Games last year during Wrestlemania weekend. Of course, she was not included in last year's game, but nonetheless the possibility of her being in this year's game is certainly very high, especially much more higher than anybody else that I just mentioned. Up next we got Andrade Cien Almas, who has been part of NXT for almost a year now. Same goes for the very popular and charismatic NXT superstar No Way Jose. His entrance should definitely be very interesting. Up next we got Roderick Strong, who debuted late last year. And back to the women's division we got Liv Morgan and Aaliyah, who NXT obviously has been trying to build these 2 girls up, similar to what they've been doing with Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. Up next we got one of the newest NXT superstars, and that is Cassius Ohno, who is making a return to the company after working the indie scenes as Chris Hero for the better part of the last couple of years. He debuted before Wrestlemania weekend, so there's definitely a good chance of him actually being in the game. Up next we got probably one of my favorite teams, and that is DIY, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. Hands down the best wrestling team that is in NXT right now. They are literally next to the Revival, but of course the Revival was called up to the main roster, so my statement stands. They are the best wrestling team on NXT. Very interesting to note is the fact that their moves are already in WWE 2K17, as they were part of the new moveset DLC. Up next we get another team that has definitely been making an impact on NXT, and that is Sanity, Eric Young, who is the leader. Then we got Alexander Wolf, Nikki Cross, and Killian Dane. A hell of a stable right there, and once again, because they have been on NXT for so long already, I definitely see them being part of WWE 2K18. Similar to the Drifter, Elias Sampson, who was in NXT for about 2 years actually before he debuted on Monday Night Raw following WrestleMania, so he will definitely be part of this year's game. This was also one of the surprises from last year, where we kind of wonder why exactly he wasn't in last year's game. Back to the women's division, and we got probably the most exciting one in regards to that division, and that is Ember Moon. She's definitely being billed as one of the top competitors of the women's division that's gonna be carrying NXT for the next year. At number 2 we got an NXT superstar, but that was actually a WWE superstar, left the company and now came back to NXT. Who I'm talking about is Drew McIntyre. He signed a 1-year contract with the WWE on WrestleMania weekend. He returned the week after that and already thrown into the main event picture of NXT. He's pretty much similar to Shinsuke Nakamura, who debuted on WrestleMania weekend, and although he was part of a DLC, he was still included in the game. And last but not least, it is the glorious one, Bobby Roode, who was not in the game last year because he did debut it much more later after WrestleMania, although he was at WrestleMania weekend. Nonetheless, he is the current face of NXT, and without a shadow of a doubt he will be in WWE 2K18, meaning that the game itself will be glorious. Not much for me to tell you guys because Bobby Roode is the new face of NXT, and he will be carrying that brand for the better part of this year. Nonetheless guys, that is what I have for you guys for this countdown of WWE 2K18, counting down 20 superstars that will more than likely be included in the next game. Make sure that you guys let me know down in the comments below if I missed anybody. Keep in mind that I am including again people who has been significantly used on NXT television, therefore their chances of being in the next game are very high. But anyways, you savages, if you guys found this informative, make sure that you guys elbow drop that like button button and let me know down in the comments below which other countdowns you guys want me to do. And if you haven't yet, make sure that you guys check out the playlist for new features that we want to see and also much more countdowns. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then what are you waiting for? Make sure that you join Savage Squad because we on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Macho T, dig it!